Kathmandu to Pokhara solo motorcycle ride. Welcome to my 16th travel vlog. During the 1 month solo ride that I started from Kolkata, after going through Murshidabad and Darjeeling in West Bengal, and Gangtok in Sikkim, then Kathmandu in Nepal, I went to another tourist destination, Pokhara. Kathmandu to Pokhara is about 200 kilometers on a single road called Prithvi Highway. I started from Kathmandu in the morning and reached Pokhara by night. So this is entirely a motorbike riding vlog, unlike the previous 4 others, which were like my visits to tourist attractions in Kathmandu Valley. While in Kathmandu, I was staying at a place called Lezinpet, which is very much close to Thamel, a shopping center attracting a lot of tourists. I did this solo bike tour in August 2018, and August is generally a tourist off-season period, generally in most places, and so is the case with Nepal. So wherever I went, I got cheap accommodations. I was in Kathmandu for about a week, and this is the room I took in one of the homestays very close to Thamel, and this one I got very cheap. It was only about $4 per day. That is like 240 Indian rupees at the time, I think. I found that booking.com website is a reliable option for getting accommodation in most of the tourist places in Nepal. I booked my room both in Kathmandu and in Pokhara through booking.com, and they had a variety of rooms with a range of prices, and they had the cheapest rooms listed on their site when compared to the competitors. So this is me checking out of the room in Kathmandu and heading to Pokhara early in the morning, I think by about 9 am. Similar to any other major city and capital cities, Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal, is also a very congested city with a lot of traffic and pollution. I didn't find much difference between Kathmandu and any other major city in India, especially North Indian cities. They have similar looks, feel and smell. Now the route I have to take is Prithvi Highway, which is a single road connecting Kathmandu and Pokhara and is named after King Prithvi Narayan Shah, the last ruler of the Gorkha kingdom in the 17th century. This is the map of the road, and this is the same road one have to take to reach India through the nearest border. And so a lot of traffic comes through this road, especially heavy goods vehicles carrying a lot of stuff to the capital. So this road is very congested with a lot of vehicles, and so it is in a very poor condition. Now when I started from Kathmandu, I had checked on Google Maps, and it had indeed shown me a road bypassing the main Prithvi Highway for at least about 10 kilometers. Now the congestion is only about 30 kilometers long, whereafter the traffic thins out. But I'm not sure if I'm on the route shown by Google Maps or on the Prithvi Highway. I think I had missed that route somewhere over here. There was a turn I had to take somewhere over here and I missed it. So I had to go through this dusty pothole-filled road for about 30 kilometers. And indeed the dust was so thick in some places that it acted like a fog and you couldn't see too far. Well, you won't actually see that dust in the video, but believe me, it was very polluted and it was also very hot. So if any of you are to take this route, that is going from Kathmandu to Pokhara, riding a 2-wheeler or even a 4-wheeler, my suggestion and recommendation is to try and avoid this main highway, that is the Prithvi Highway, for at least about 10 kilometers, for which there is a bypass road or something like that, something very similar to a bypass, and you can avoid a lot of dust and pollution and increase your lifespan. So try to take the road shown in Google Maps, although I'm not sure if it is very accurate and it is suitable for 4-wheelers, but I think 2-wheelers could safely go through it. The road I am going through now, that you are seeing now, this is the condition of the road for about at least 20 kilometers, and I think I took about 1 hour or more to complete this 20 kilometer stretch. Kathmandu Valley has flat landscape, and for about 10 kilometers we get straight flat roads, but thereafter you have to climb down the hill, and from there the road congestion increases. Before that there was at least some space for 2-lane movement on each side of the road, and I think it is some kind of a 4-lane road for some time, but during this climbing down the mountain the road is just 2 lanes, and if you see closely on the opposite side, the road has gullies or like channels formed due to the heavy truck movement. At some places the traffic is completely standstill, and if you're coming in a 4-wheeler, I think it will take about 2 hours to go through this stretch. But 2-wheeler guys can zigzag through this traffic, and I was able to find some way here and there always. Now I reached Kathmandu from the eastern side, that is after crossing Nepal's eastern border and entering Kathmandu through its eastern side. And at that time there was not much traffic on those roads, even near to Kathmandu. In this road, you can find a number of heavy vehicles. and I think almost all the heavy goods movement to the city is coming through this road. Anyway, once you are near the outskirts of the valley, the traffic thins out. And since you are climbing down the valley, it is mountainous area on all the sides, and the scenic beauty and the environment improves. There is more greenery all around you, although it is still dusty and polluted on the road. Now, I am not normally a very slow rider. I do not do high speeds, even on straight line, low traffic highways. So I do not have any issues going very slowly. But breathing all this dust and pollution from the vehicle is the issue. I'm also not very adventurous type, and I'm not here to compete with anybody, so no issues when these guys on the bikes in front of me gets away somehow. And for all these reasons, I took a long time to get out of this traffic, and this situation is only for about 30 kilometers. Thereafter, the road is almost free for you for the rest of the way. To be honest, roads like these are necessary to complete the experience of riding a two-wheeler. Always straight, flat, 4-lane highways, are so boring. What is the point in just expecting excellent roads just for you all the time? The other thing would be broadening these roads would require, I think, heavy investment. You either have to dig out the sides of the hills on one side or build up on the other side, which probably might be impossible due to the heavy slope of the mountains. So it would be slightly difficult to expect a 4-lane road over here. Anyway, don't get too bored with this view of the traffic or just this traffic video. It is only for some time, like just for a few minutes, and thereafter the beauty of Nepal starts. In this vlog, and like most of my other vlogs, I'm going to give detailed commentary about the tourist attractions and places and activities that you can find on the sides of these roads and nearby areas. That is on the way, and even those places where you can go by taking diversions from this road. And there are a few of them on this road. However, I did not go to all those places. I just went straight to Pokhara. But in this vlog, I'm going to give all the details about the important and must-see places you could or should visit if you are coming through this road, so you can do a better planning unlike me. I'm also going to explain slightly about the tourist attractions at my destination, that is in Pokhara. Now, this traffic congestion or traffic block you're seeing now was for like several kilometers long. I'm not sure whether it was just this one time or a daily kind of event. So if you're coming in a 4-wheeler, better check up with the local people, like at your homestay or a hotel, about the traffic conditions on this road, and try to choose an ideal time to go through this road and avoid this kind of traffic. 2-wheeler guys should not have much problem. I was able to go through this traffic without much difficulty. Now let me start to give you some information about the things on this road and in Pokhara. The Nepal as a country is divided into 7 federal provinces, and Pokhara is a major city in one of the provinces. The province is called Gandaki. Now if you compare based on the population of the cities, Pokhara is the second largest city after Kathmandu in Nepal. In the olden times, there is like in the 17th century or something like that, Pokhara was a major trading station as it lay on the trade route between China and India. So it is not now, it was in the 17th century, not now. The tourist activities in Pokhara started very recently, like in the last 50 years or so, and it has developed as a major tourist destination in the recent periods, and that was done quite fast in the last 30 years. In terms of tourism, Pokhara has almost equal importance to that of Kathmandu, and I have even read somewhere that Pokhara is considered as the tourism capital of Nepal. I was having the idea that Kathmandu is the major tourist destination in Nepal, and in fact before coming to Nepal, I had never heard of the name Pokhara. In fact, Kathmandu has about 7 UNESCO listed World Heritage Sites, and my last 4 vlogs were about these World Heritage Sites in Kathmandu Valley, that is the 3 Durbar squares and the Swayambhu temple. Now the difference seems to be the type of tourist activity in Kathmandu and in Pokhara. Kathmandu has a large number of historical and architecturally significant places, such as the Durbar squares and the temples. Pokhara, on the other hand, is known for leisure, recreation and adventure tourism. The main reason is the landscape and geography of Pokhara, enabling activities like mountain climbing, biking, mountain biking, trekking, paragliding, water sports, and all those kinds of adventure related activities. Then there is the natural beauty of the surroundings of Pokhara. To be honest, I had never heard of the name Pokhara before coming to Nepal, and I only came to know about it when I was searching for the next place to go. Like 2 or 3 days after reaching Kathmandu, I was searching for the next place to go. My entire Nepal trip has been completely unplanned one. When I started from Kolkata towards the beginning of August 2018, my first plan was to go to the northeastern states of India, like Assam, Meghalaya, and so on. But when I reached Darjeeling and then in Gangtok in Sikkim, it was raining over there. And there was news about very heavy rains in Assam and even flood. So I had to change my plans, and that is the reason I am riding this motorcycle through Nepal from Kathmandu to Pokhara. So the rains forced me to come to Nepal, and the first place to go in Nepal, as far as I knew at the time, was Kathmandu. I didn't know the name of any other places in Nepal except Kathmandu at the time. Moreover, when I was entering Nepal through its eastern border at Raniganj, I was taking the bike, which requires payment of tax for a particular number of days for which you are taking the vehicle. And I had prepared this document called Bansar for 15 days. Now I have made a blog about Nepal border crossing, like the things to do at the Nepal side of the border when you are taking the vehicle, and I'm going to give a link of that blog just about here. Coming back, I came to Kathmandu and I was there for 7 days, and I was looking for the next place to go because I could utilize the Bansar for 1 more week. The first thing that came up in my internet search was Pokhara, and I heard about the place from the people I met at the homestay. So Pokhara came up, and this is me going blindly over there without doing much research about the place. Now I did inquire about the place, and I found there are some things to see over there, like the Phewa Lake, boating over there, the Buddhist pagoda temple, a few caves and other activities. But I just read about it and I packed my bags and left for Pokhara, and that is what you're seeing now. On reflection, I think I should have researched about the place much deeper because I think I missed certain things, especially on this road. Now the speciality at Pokhara from a tourism perspective is mountain trekking. And I didn't know about this when I went to the place. Moreover, there are at least a few tourist places that you can see on this road, that is on the Prithvi Highway. I missed all of them because I did not do any research about the places to visit on this road. Well, this route is beautiful because of the natural surroundings, the mountains, the hills, the greenery, and the river on the one side. This river is called the Trishuli River. It originates in Tibet and flows in an east-west direction. And for about 40 kilometers, we go through the side of this road. Then it changes direction to the south to reach the Ganges River in India. So this natural beauty and the good road conditions make the riding pleasant, but there were at least 2 or 3 places that I could have stopped on the way. There were 1 or 2 caves and a few temples just on the sides of this road, like not too much inside, but maybe like 2 or 3 kilometers you take a diversion and you reach those places. Then there are some places that I should have visited while I was in Nepal and since I was going through this road. One such place is Bandipur, a small town probably about 2 or 3 kilometers diversion from this road, which is known for its Newari culture and architecture. I think it's a village with a few historical monuments, buildings, houses and temples built during the 17th century. In fact, I saw the place, or at least a signboard saying Bandipur, while riding on this road, and I was wondering about it because there is another place with the same name in India, in the border between my home state Kerala and Karnataka state. That is also a tourist destination. It has forest safaris and I have been there several times. Then there is the Manakamana temple or something like that. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. It is a Hindu temple built during the 17th century, but I think it is slightly damaged in the earthquake. I think it is only about a few kilometers ride by taking a slight right diversion on this road. But when I was going, I did not know about this, or rather I did not care to research about the place, so I missed it. Then there is a cave, a Siddha cave, which is claimed as the largest cave in Nepal and the second largest in South Asia. I read about it and it seems to be about half a kilometer long. that is inside of the cave is about half a kilometer long, which is really something. I should have gone there. But I think reaching the place where the cave is located is a bit difficult. You have to ride a bit off this road and then do a mountain trek. I'm not very sure about what is there and how to reach it. I've just read about it and I'm giving this information so that anybody watching this video can plan their tour better and see all these places if they want to. I think there should be something there because it is claimed as the largest cave in Nepal and the second largest in South Asia. So if you are taking this route, consider going to the place. Then there is the Gorkha Durbar Square. A Durbar Square in Nepal is like old towns, city centers, a place where a lot of palaces, monuments, temples and such are situated. The first thing that comes to my mind when hearing about Nepal, as I am from South India, is the Gorkha knife, the Gorkha soldiers and so on. But Gorkha in Nepal is the name of a place, and there is a palace over there and it is called the Gorkha Durbar Palace. Nepal as we see today, that is a unified country as it is now, was created by a Gorkha king, Prithvi Shah, in the 17th century. So Prithvi Shah conquered the small and large kingdoms in Nepal and created a unified country which retains most of the boundaries till now. And for this reason, the palace at Gorkha has historic importance to Nepal and consequently a place to visit for tourists. It is not only just the birthplace of Prithvi Shah, it has a lot of historical monuments, temples, palaces, a fort, then adventure hike activities like mountain trekking. Reading through the materials about the place, I think it has rich biodiversity, natural beauty, historical significance and adventure. So a lot of places, a lot of things combined in one place. But it is quite far off from this road, like about 40 kilometers, and possibly might take 2 or 3 hours to reach due to the mountain roads. Anyway, I'm not sure about this, like the road conditions. So if somebody is planning to go to this place, it is not a place for a few hours. You have to plan for an entire day or even more to reach there, see the places, get involved in all those activities like sightseeing, trekking and all those things. In fact, the Manakamana temple that I mentioned before is on this road, but it is not very far off from this road that we are taking now. My last 4 blogs were about tourist attractions in Kathmandu, like the 3 Durbar squares in the valley and the Swayambhunath temple. As I am doing now while doing those blogs, I had given detailed account of the history of the different places and of the overall Kathmandu valley. I tried to give much more in-depth details about the places I visit in my blogs, not just from seeing the place but also doing a bit of research. But my weak point is that I do not do the research before I go there. I do it after I go and see the place and not before. Anyway, Kathmandu Valley and its history is connected with the Newari people. The Malla dynasty that ruled the Kathmandu Valley from the 12th to the 16th century were Newari. But in the 16th century, the Kathmandu Valley itself was divided into 3 small kingdoms. Later, in the 17th century, Prithvi Shah conquered these places and unified most of the Nepal. In fact, the name of this road is Prithvi Highway to commemorate the ruler. Anyway, I'm not going to give too much history on this blog because this is a riding blog. And I just want to give some background information to people who are interested and those who want to plan their journeys with this information. So if you are going to Gorkha, then the places to visit are its Durbar Square. Should be similar to the Durbar Squares in Kathmandu. It has a palace, several monuments, temples, a museum, a fort, and then there is the adventure activities like hiking and trekking. Then again, the earthquake I think has damaged this place as well. So I'm not sure if everything is open for the viewing pleasure of tourists. So better check in detail before you go. Anyway, in summary, I did not do my research in detail before I got onto my bike and so I missed this place. Besides, I only had about 7 more days in Nepal and I was already running out of money, so I would not have gone even if I had known about the place. My travels are often like, go to the next place that is recommended by somebody or that I have read about without doing much research because I would like to see the thing for myself before coming to any conclusions by reading about it. Then I'm of the opinion that doing much more research is only taking up the time that should have been spent for traveling to the places. But I definitely do a research and read about the places after I go there to get a better understanding of it. Anyway, as I said before, this entire trip is unplanned. Coming to Nepal was a spur of the moment decision. And so I'm not regretting anything like not doing this or that. I didn't go to a few places, but it is still there. Probably I being reconstructed after the earthquake and so on. So I can go maybe sometime later and it'll be in much better shape for me. So those are some of the places you can visit and see if you're coming on this road on your vehicle, or some of the things you can plan to see if you're interested. Coming back to this route. Now after about 30 kilometers of that horrible ride that you saw in the beginning of this vlog, the other parts of the journey is much better, and I would say wonderful, because the road is in good condition, there is not much traffic, and there are no heavy ups and downs or things that stresses your ride. The surroundings are beautiful and the weather was good, although it was slightly drizzling at one or two places. In fact, this ride is similar to the second day's ride I did after entering Nepal, that is from Bandipur, which lies on the east-west highway, from where I took the Japan highway to reach Kathmandu. That single day's ride I had divided into 3, and I will just give a link to one of those vlogs just about here. In fact, I had planned to divide this video into 2 segments, but I ended up putting all the things into this. However, I have not put all the media segments that I have captured into this vlog. Only the things that I think are good with the surrounding natural beauty, and all those things are in this for your viewing pleasure. What I was about to tell was that this day's ride and the ride I did from Bandipur to Kathmandu through Japan highway was very pleasant and beautiful. But unlike that road, which was like winding up and down the hills, this one is much straighter and does not have too much winding curves or too much ups and downs. Another comparable thing is the river on the one side. As I said before, the river on the right side is Trishuli river, flowing dangerously due to the flood waters, perhaps due to the rains. And I saw a number of places on the side of this road providing water sports like kayaking, rafting and all that. Anyway, I went in August, just about after the monsoon season, and so the river is in a kind of fury and not suitable for water sports. What I meant to say is that there are adventure sport destinations or places just on the side of this route. You don't have to go too much away from the route itself, but you have to pick the right time to indulge in all those things. I had indeed seen several travel agents in Kathmandu promoting water sports in this area. Anyway, I'm not too much into water sports or any other type of adventure activities. Now, in the first part of this vlog, I started with telling about the destination, that is Pokhara, but then I think I slightly deviated and went on to detail about the places to visit on the side of this road or on the route itself. Now, since that is done, let me go back to the things that are in Pokhara, the things that you could do or should do if you're going there. The main attraction of Pokhara is adventure activities. It is also a leisure and recreational destination for less adventurous people like me. The main adventure activity is trekking to the Annapurna mountain ranges in the Himalayas. There is indeed a 3-week trek program which in fact starts from Kathmandu and goes through Pokhara. On the other hand, you can start your trip from Pokhara, which could be like about 10 or 12 days trek, but again going to the same kind of mountain regions. So the highlight of the trip or the trek is the Annapurna circuit, as the Annapurna range of Himalayas lies to the north of Pokhara. The Annapurna circuit is one of the best long-distance trekking circuits in the world, as it goes through different climatic zones, reaches an altitude of about 5,400 meters, and goes through places with breathtaking views. It is renowned globally, and many trekkers visit the place from across the world. I think it can last for as far as 20 days. So that is the limited information I have about this Annapurna trek circuit, and people interested would perhaps know more about it. Another development in the area is a mountain biking road, possibly constructed recently, and a lot of people are going to the place for mountain biking activity, which is also another type of adventure. Anyway, I did not know about all these things at this time, like when I am going from Kathmandu to Pokhara. And even if I had, I might not have done all those things because I did not have sufficient time. Apart from the high adrenaline adventure of mountain trekking, biking, and so on, there are things for the lesser adventurous types like me, like the boating on the Phewa Lake, paragliding and so on. Now this trekking, biking and hiking and all that is if you're going just outside of Pokhara to the Annapurna mountain ranges. But within Pokhara itself there are a lot of places to see. And as I said before, Pokhara is known for its natural beauty. And one reason for that is the Phewa Lake, a natural freshwater lake. It is also slightly man-made as it has been expanded. So it is a very highly visited tourist spot in Pokhara. This is the second largest lake in Nepal with a lot of water sports activities like boating, canoeing, fishing, kayaking and all that. Then there is a waterfalls, Devi's Falls. It is about 2 kilometers from the main city center of Pokhara, and water is coming from the Phewa Lake. The name of this fall, Devi's Falls, is derived from an unfortunate incident where a woman drowned and perished in the falls, and her name was Devi. The other thing to see in Nepal is the World Peace Stupa. It is on the one side of Phewa Lake on top of a mountain. It is a very popular hiking destination as well because you have to climb a few steps, not just a few but quite a number of steps to reach the top of the mountain. Now it has Buddhist statues and there are depictions about the prominent stages of Buddha's life. I've seen a similar Japanese Peace Pagoda while I was in Darjeeling. That one was a bit of small architecture, but this one is quite huge. It is very huge. Then there are two caves in Pokhara. One is the Mahendra Cave and the other is the Bat's Cave. The Mahendra Cave is a slightly longer one, I think. There is a statue of Lord Shiva within the cave, and it is named after the late king Mahendra Bir Bikram Shah Dev. This cave has different type of rock structures, stones, boulders and all that. Then there is the next cave very close by is the Bat's Cave. While I was going on this route, I met a group of people from my state, Kerala. I'm not purposely showing them as I'm not showing myself. I have planned this vlog to provide details about my experience and my activities, and this vlog is not about me. And that is the reason I am nowhere to be seen in any of my vlogs. And I want to keep it that way. Besides, I don't think anybody of you would be interested in me. I haven't even told my name in any of the vlogs, and I don't intend to do in the future ones. So that is that. Now let me come back to Pokhara. The other places to visit in Pokhara and one of the popular tourist spots is Sarangkot. Now this is on the outskirts of Pokhara. It has amazing paragliding experience, so there are adventurous spots within Pokhara itself. You don't have to go too far away. This road from Kathmandu to Pokhara is about 200 kilometers, and if you don't have your own vehicle, there are other options like hiring private taxi cars or private and public buses. There are even flights from Kathmandu to Pokhara, which takes only about 30 minutes. That is the actual flying time. Now at this point, I have reached about slightly more than half the distance, like 120 kilometers from Kathmandu, and the name of this place is Mugling. And this is the place where the Trishuli river merges with another river and changes direction to south, flowing to India and merging with Ganges river. When I was going through this place, I think there was some construction or repair going on the bridge. This road was constructed in 1974, and this is the only point where I saw some congestion after leaving Kathmandu. That is, you have seen the first part of this vlog, where I am trying to get out of Kathmandu, which took me like about 1.5 hours to do about 30 kilometers. But after that, the road has been empty. One reason could be that it is not tourist season, and there is not much traffic on this road. But I have read somewhere that this is a heavily congested road, especially in the tourist season, with a lot of visitors going to and from Pokhara and Kathmandu. On the right side, you can see the other river which flows from the west to east direction to merge with the Trishuli river. And the name of this river is Marsyandi or something like that. It is much smaller than the other one, and a few kilometers from here we are to part ways with the river, and we are entering a different type of geography, much more plains than the hills. Another thing about this route is the landslides which could happen at any time, as most places in Nepal are prone to landslides. While the intensity of landslides increases during the monsoon, it could happen anytime due to the geography of the place. In fact, when I was going from Pokhara towards west, the road I took had a number of landslides and I was delayed by several hours, and one reason was that it was raining on the day. Right now, this vlog has crossed about half an hour and this is the longest vlog I have done till now. And I have a feeling that I have overdone this. Usually I limit my vlogs to about 20 minutes or less, and in some cases I divide one day's ride into 2 or 3 vlogs, something I did for my ride from Bandipur to Kathmandu. I usually cut short my one-day rides and include only the most beautiful and better quality video clips. So if you're getting bored of this, then do let me know and I will try to improve it in my future videos. I'm going to give a link to another vlog, that is my ride from Darjeeling to Gangtok, which was also one of the rides which I enjoyed. Anyway, coming back to the length of this vlog, I have tried to include only the good video clips out of the several ones from my Gopro. And at this point, we have not even covered more than 3/4 of the entire distance. I think I have only done about 140 kilometers into the ride at this point, and more than 50 kilometers is remaining to be done. And another thing from here is that the hills are slowly disappearing into the distance and more flat-like landscape is coming. From here onwards there is no river or huge mountains to give us company. This is the place I had a tea break, and see, this one is a small temporary roadside shop, but they still have liquor. They sell beer and even hard liquor. This is the first shop where I saw the advertisement of Kingfisher beer, which is famous in India. Most of the other places had the advertisements of the Durbar beer. I think that is a foreign one. Now the time is I think about 4 or 5 in the evening, and from here onwards, like after a few distance from here, it started raining. And the landscape is also changing. It is not as beautiful as before. So I didn't use the GoPro very much after this. Also the battery was going to be near dead. Now the rain started from just about here. I'm still about 40 kilometers to reach Pokhara, but the lights went off, like the sun went behind the clouds and there was not enough light to capture much video after this. And I want to end this vlog because this is getting too long. It is more than half an hour now. I reached Pokhara by around 7 or 7:30. And I had started like early in the morning, like about 9:30 or so. So approximately I took about 9 hours to reach the place. And conventionally, if you are taking your own vehicle, I have read reports that the riding or the driving time is like 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours. So if you have seen this video this far into the vlog, I must have done something right. So do let me know what your comments are about this vlog. I'm still in the early stages of vlogging. This is only my 16th vlog. At this point, I'm still not decided about the length of my vlogs and all that, and what all things to be included. Should I cut short these videos or should I include almost all the clips that I've captured? So I would very much appreciate some form of comments to this video from you. And if you have liked the video, go ahead and actually like the video by hitting that like button. As I said, I reached Pokhara by about 7, and there again I got the rooms very cheap. I stayed in a place, I'm not sure about the name of the place, but there was like a row of homestays and hotels on that road. There was only homestays and hotels on that road. It was not very congested, and most of it was empty because I think this is not the tourist season. So my next vlog is about Pokhara, and a preview of that is what you're seeing just now. And those things are like tourist attractions in Pokhara, some of which that I've mentioned in this vlog. I didn't stay in Pokhara for long, just about 2 or 3 days. So we have now come to the end of this vlog, and as everybody says, if you like the video, hit the like button and share the video with your friends, and also consider subscribing to my channel. Now I have given the link to my next vlog, which is about the tourist attractions in Pokhara, just about here on the right side. Thank you and see you in the next video.